everybody, I'm Amy from the Cauldron, and I hate to waste dye. I've got this orange left over from another dyeing project I'm doing. This is creamsicle and orange marmalade, I think it was. They're both fibre reactive dyes from Dyer. I hate wasting dye, so I'm just going to pop it in there. And then I've got the jug that I was using to mix up the dyes. I've mixed up a total of 6 dyes in here. 2 reds, 2 oranges and 2 yellows, so it's a bit of a mess at the moment. I'll give it a little rinse out. I don't think there's actually much dye in here, but I don't want to pour it down the drain, and I've got some little skeins on hand that I can use to dye up. This is hot, but I know my my jug it's not going to melt. The yarn I'm using today is 10 grams of 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and there is already acid in here, and it looks like there's a fair bit of dye in that actually. I'm glad I didn't put that down the drain. That's quite nice actually, I like that. I don't think I'm going to be able to do a dip dye. Hadn't planned on doing a dip dye, but I can just have a little go, see if this works. That's really nice and a lot darker than I thought. I don't think I'm going to do a dip dye. I think I'm just going to plop it all in, give it a mix, give it a nice mix about, and I'm just going to leave this now. Let the water come up to a boil. All the equipment I'm using today is dedicated for dyeing. I don't use it for food. And oops, when I was making up these dye solutions, I did wear a mask and I did have my gloves on. Yeah, it looks like the dye is starting to clear. And I'm wondering, I can still see a darker section and a lighter section of yarn. It's quite hard to see on camera, but I can see it here. I wonder if that's going to stay like that. So this water's quite hot. I'm just going to let it come to a rolling boil and then reduce the temperature and let it sit on heat for a good half an hour. And hopefully by then all the dye will have absorbed to the yarn. Since setting this up, I've been doing other projects, so it's been on the heat for probably about 45 minutes now. And it does look like there's a hint of yellow left in here, but say the vast majority of that colour is in the yarn. That is a gorgeous colour. I'm so glad I didn't get rid of it. I'm not too worried about this little bit of yellow that's left over. It's possibly there's too much dye for the yarn to absorb, or it could be that there's just going to be that little bit extra left over. Either way, I'm not worried. It's been on the heat for plenty of time, so I've turned the heat off now, and I'm just going to let this cool down so I can wash it. This yarn has cooled down now, and it is a bit of a tangle, so I'm not going to try untangling it now. I'm going to wait for it to dry and then I can untangle it. I'm just rinsing it through with some cold tap water at the moment. Add a bit of washing up liquid. Doesn't look like there is any colour coming out of this at all, which I'm really happy about considering how dark this is. So brilliant. I can now just rinse this through a couple more times, get out all of the soap, get out all of the vinegar smell, and then I can hang this out to dry. And here is my finished yarn. This is a gorgeous, lovely burnt orange, and if you have a good look at it, it looks pretty solid to me. I mean, I think that top bit is a little bit lighter than the bottom bit, but in general, that is really quite a solid, gorgeous colour. And I've had a little look through all my swatch samples, and I've pulled out this one with saffron spice, and I think that's probably the closest colour that I could find. And it's not exactly the same. You can see the saffron spice is a bit more yellow, but I think it's a pretty close match, considering I don't know the proportions of dyes that I used in this. It was just all leftover stuff. So that's quite interesting. I think it looks very similar. And this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous colour, and I'm so happy with it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I've enjoyed making it. What do you think of this colour, and what do you think of this technique of just using up extra dye to dye up these little mini skeins of yarn? Let me know down in the comments. I publish a new video every Monday, usually around 6 PM UK time. And I do like to do different things in my videos. I've been doing a lot of tie-dyeing recently. I like to use up leftover dye. I like to do all sorts of experiments. So make sure you're subscribed and got notifications turned on so you don't miss any new videos. Thank you so much for watching.